Om Sri Sai Ram. Ganesha Sharanam Paramapavanam Satya Sainam Gajananam Nityam Smaranam Paramapavanam Satya Sainam Gajananam. Om Sri Sai Ram. There are three divine declarations that this unique universal avatar has made in his opening statements on different occasions. The first one is related to his reason for incarnation. In the recorded statement, the audio in those days, the opening statement of Swami in Telugu, which was translated by Sri N. Kasturiji, is in the audio where he is giving the reasons why I incarnate. That is the title of that divine declaration. The opening sentence is Sadhus prayed and I have come. Full stop. And then the full explanation, divine declarations. Now, this avatar has proved that if sadhu means not with orange robe, sadhu means having good, elevated thoughts, enlightened souls. That is sadhu who has achieved that stage upliftment of his mind, of his consciousness. Beyond sadhana, beyond being a sadhaka, sadhu is beyond any sadhana. He has crossed it. Sadhus prayed and I have come. That means it is possible to attract the supreme cosmic power, the supreme cosmic authority itself to descend and intervene in human affairs. This is one proof, the proposition of his divine declaration. The second one is his opening address, the opening remark when he addresses his any gathering, anytime, anywhere. He never addresses us as my bhaktas or my dears. No. Divya Atma Swarup Laras. Prem Atma Swarup Laras. You, the embodiment of love, embodiment of divinity. So he is confirming the ultimate supreme authority, the cosmic authority has confirmed that we all are divine, essentially and equally divine. It is not that we are this body, mind, and intelligence, and some spiritual soul is residing in our heart. No, it is actually other way around. We are that divine being, the spiritual beings, gifted with this costume, the body, human mind, and human emotions and human intelligence to perform our assigned roles, to play our roles. That is the truth. But our modern education has programmed our mind in everything topsy-turvy. We are that divine beings. That is our reality. That is our true identity. Our Aadhar is divinity. We are embodiment of divinity. This body needs Aadhar card. Our real being itself is Aadhar of the entire creation of our lives. Every wave is essentially and equally the ocean. We cannot separate the wave from the ocean, and it would be as foolish for any person to declare that the God does not exist. It is as foolish as wave declaring that ocean does not exist. So this is his second divine blessings, I say, that he has in his opening remark, he reveals to us our own true identity. And third one is his love ensures his awareness, and his awareness shows his ways, and his ways ensure his grace. That is the power of his love. His love, I repeat, his love. We fail in our efforts to correct even our own habits, our own long inherited traits. How on earth can we expect to correct and transform and reform any other person's attitude or habits or character, even with our love? Our love? No ways. Why? Love is the only power. Love is the only way. But His love. Why not our love? There is a difference. We all will admit, if we are honest to introspect, that what we call love, our love, is not love. It is either tainted or contaminated with our selfishness, with our self interest, or with our narrow vision and limited vision, with our corrupted wisdom. Is the fact. Let us accept it. Because love to be pure and selfless has to be universal and limitless. Unless and until we acquire that love, the universal love, the limitless love, we, the Sai devotees, have this advantage, the privilege to let His love flow through us because we have experienced it, we have tested it both ways, TEST and TASTE. We have tested His love both ways innumerable number of times. So we should have confidence, if not in our own love, then at least in His love. That is why Swami told that old lady who was flying alone to New York in 80s. This was mentioned in Sanatana Sarathi those days. Swami had promised her that I'll be your companion, your ticketless traveler with you. She was nearly 80 years. She had come in a group, but Swami asked her to wait and she had to go back alone. And it seems the plane was hijacked. And she found, to her amazement, the entire plane was full except one seat next to her. So she believed Swami is my companion as a ticketless traveler sitting next to me. And when her plane was being hijacked by some Afghan terrorists, she got nervous. She started shaking and praying, Swami, I'm frightened. Swami said, don't fear. Why fear when I'm here? She said, Swami, that's okay, but they are terrorists. What to do? Don't do anything. Just give them my love. Swami, how can I love them? They are horrible. My love, not your love. Just pass on. Be the channel of my love. Just pass my love to them. And when she started doing that exercise for few minutes, few seconds, I love you. She looked into the eyes directly of those terrorists and started saying, I love you, my child, I love you, I love you, I love you. She was just passing Swami's love to them, the universal cosmic love, pure selfless love. And it is reported that the terrorist could not bear the vibrations of that love and they started shaking and they were overpowered by the staff, the crew, and the plane landed safely. They were handed over to the police. I don't remember the exact date or the year, but I believe this was reported even in leading newspapers. His love. We fail in our effort because we try to, first of all, we don't even try to give our love. Most of the time, we fight it out at our intellectual level with our logic and arguments, expecting others to be like this before we can open up to them, before we can love them. These are all conditions. Love has no conditions. If it has conditions, then it is, Swami says, not love, it is attachment. Maybe you can do it as a business. Many people do business out of religion. Whatever it may be, but it cannot be termed as love of God. Daiva Preeti, love of God. Daiva Preeti, not a Manushya Preeti. His love. So these are the three divine gifts. First one, the possibility of attracting this God. They are asking questions, when will Swami come again, or whether he will come again, or is it scientifically possible, logically possible, or is it somebody's imagination? Why to believe anybody on that? Why can't we have confidence in our own love? If we are sadhus, enlightened souls, with pure, selfless, fearless, unreserved, unconditional love for Him, we can attract Him to intervene in human affairs and to change even human history. I think it was Plato who has said this. Collective human consciousness, if decides to pray collectively, it can even compel the cosmic consciousness to come down and intervene directly in human affairs and even change its destiny. We have to attract God, and He can be attracted only by love, pure selfless love, because He is love. He doesn't understand any other language. If somebody comes to me and speaks in German, I will not be able to understand. He is not Telugu God or Puttaparthi God. That is Maya. He is universal as well as personal. He is universal cosmic authority. At the same time, the incarnation becomes our personal God, each one of us. But we don't own him. We must not be that foolish like Rukmani. Swami said Rukmani attitude and Radha attitude. Rukmani would have that ego, that arrogance. Krishna belongs to me. Radha would be humble. She would say, I belong to Krishna. Krishna belongs to all. Krishna belongs to me and I belong to Krishna. Turning of the key. When we say Krishna belongs to me, the door is closed. The grace is obstructed. We are closing the windows of our own house, our own mind, to allow His grace, ever flowing and overflowing grace, the like sun rays, to enter our hearts and minds. That is why we never get enlightened, even by being in His proximity for 50, 60, how many years? How does it matter if we remain closed in our room with closed doors and windows? Even for thousands of years, we will live in darkness. I belong to Krishna. One moment, the window is open. Our personal God becomes our universal God. And then the rays of His grace come to us uninvited. Difference is in attitude, in turning of the key. Like we turn the key in the lock, same key, same lock. Swami says turning difference. This way it closes the lock, this way it opens the lock. Same key, same, only turning difference of the lock. These are the three gifts of God for all of us in this Kali age. No avatar has given these gifts before. They are not the only three gifts, they are innumerable. He is the ultimate giver. He alone can give, and He gives gracefully. His giving is always graceful. We have to learn being graceful. He says, even when you have to refuse, you cannot oblige always, but at least you can even refuse obligingly always. Being rude is no sign of being His devotee. No ways. Keeping grudge is closing the doors from His rays, His grace. We must not do it as shy children. Must not. It is foolishness, immaturity. When shall we grow? Nobody can touch him or own him exclusively. Jai Sai Ram.